So you might not know this, but you can actually rewire your brain, change your patterns, and create the life that you're dreaming of, the life that you actually want, no matter where you're starting from. And I'm going to show you how to do it. Hey, my name is Fantana Shatamsa, and I'm the founder of Sacred Lotus Holistic Wellness. I help women activate their body's natural ability to heal through nervous system regulation and somatic healing so that you can actually live the life that is abundant, that is full of love, and one that is actually yours and the one that you desire. I'm a mom of 3, and for years I kept repeating the same patterns in life, love, money, and business. I knew all the mindset tools in my head, but my body just would not let me move forward. I was still holding on to so much shame, fear, unworthiness, guilt, and this is all from trauma and early childhood experiences. Once I actually learned how to work with my nervous system and process the stuck trauma and the stored emotions out of my body, and harnessing the power of neuroplasticity, everything began to align. Better boundaries, better relationships, better self-awareness, and ability to trust myself, making better decisions, and really creating the life that finally felt like mine. Now I help other women do the same through mind-body connection, nervous system regulation, and somatic healing practices. So let's talk about this. Neuroplasticity. So this is the ability for our brain to change and rewire themselves and actually heal. It's an incredible gift that we were given. The way that God designed us is so perfect. So if we've experienced a brain injury or a physical injury and our neural pathways are damaged or reduced for some sort of reason, they're malfunctioning, if they've lost sensation, if they've lost their nerve function, their nerve ability, they can actually regenerate and heal. And the way that they do this is through repeated patterns and repeated techniques. This is how we learn new things, break old habits. This is how babies learn to crawl and walk and talk and do everything. And this is how we learn how to heal from trauma. But the reason why we don't heal is because a lot of us are stuck in the same thought patterns and keep reliving and rethinking about the same trauma that's happened to us years ago over and over and over again. And this is not to shame or blame or to guilt you. It's our body's way to respond to stress and trauma. But the good thing is that we can actually heal this and create new neural pathways that create a new life for us and new healing for our body and our mind. So we used to think that our brains were fixed at childhood, but now we know that our brains are always adapting. We are always creating new neural pathways based on what we do, what we experience, and how we think. And when our thoughts are paired with new experiences, we create new embodied reactions that our body responds differently and actually is able to create new responses to new experiences and release old ones out of our body. So if you grew up with chaos, criticism, or feeling like you're not enough, and every time you repeated those thoughts and actions, you reinforce these patterns, and your brain reinforced these pathways, making them automatic. That's why we react with shame or anxiousness or self-doubt whenever we're faced with certain situations. This has just become normal to us. This is why we find it difficult to trust, difficult to love, and struggle with intimate relationships. And this is why we fall back into old habits even when we feel like we know better. This is not because you're broken or because something is wrong with you. It's literally just because your brain and your nervous system are wired for surviving and not thriving. I want to tell you something about this learned helplessness study that was done in the 1960s. There's a famous study that was done where researchers put dogs in a situation in a cage where they were constantly receiving unexpected, unavoidable electric shocks. At first, the dogs tried to escape, but when nothing worked, they just learned to accept that trauma. They eventually just gave up. So even when the experimenters found or offered a way out, the dogs just stayed. They just stayed put. They didn't even try to escape from the cages. They just kept enduring the pain even though there was a way out, because their brains had learned that nothing was going to change the situation. So the new dogs came in and they kept escaping. They kept finding that route out. But the old dogs just kept staying in there and just kept, being afraid and kept crying and being withdrawn and being visibly upset and hurt because that's what they were used to. The only way that the old dogs could become free is if the new dogs or the experimenters kept dragging them out over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. They create new pathways in their brain to know that there is a way out, there is another option, that cage, that trauma is not the only way. There is another way out. So once they believed it, they were able to get themselves out. So this is the study that was called learned helplessness. When we're exposed to pain and trauma and stress, our nervous system starts to believe that this is reality, and why bother, because nothing's going to work. For many of us, if we grow up with trauma or chaos or criticism, we start to believe that this is the norm. And our brains believe that too, so they start to do it to ourselves. Even when we know that there's a way out, we stop trying. But here's the hope. Even just as there's such a thing as learned helplessness, you can also learn hope, you can learn safety, you can learn security and freedom through neuroplasticity, so nervous system regulation and somatic healing. Neuroplasticity means that you can create new neural pathways anytime that you want. You start creating new empowering thoughts, pair them with new physical experiences, so somatic experiences like breath work or movement or yoga, and new practices in your life like going for a walk or going to grab coffee or surrounding yourself with new supportive people or experiences or travel. You literally create new neural pathways that shift your mind, change your body, heal, and create the new life that you want. With repetition, these new neural pathways become your new normal, and you start to believe, I am safe, I am worthy, I am valuable, life is amazing. But for me, I stopped just thinking positively and pairing it with actual somatic healing and somatic practices. I started taking care of my body, moving in special ways, booking trips for myself, started spoiling myself, treating myself well, practicing self-compassion, breathwork, scripting, journaling. Like I have a full regulation library that I go to anytime I'm feeling stressed or overwhelmed, or I feel like these thought patterns are coming back. And slowly, my brain started to believe a new story, and my life started to change. And now I get to help other women break free from old wiring and old patterns and create the life and the love that you really desire and that you deserve. Because, babes, you are worthy. If you're ready to rewire your brain, heal your body, create new experiences, and just design the life that you deserve and that's actually yours, make sure you join our community at Sacred Lotus Holistic Wellness. Join our sanctuary where we use the power of community to support and uplift each other with a bunch of women who are going through the same thing but are ready to heal and move forward. You'll have weekly live coaching, weekly live classes, a full regulation library that you get to choose from, and the gentle support of women that are doing the work together. Join the waitlist, get onto our website, links in our bio and description, and just join the community so that we can thrive together. Your brain and your body are ready for healing. So if you're ready, come join us. You are worthy of a new story. I look forward to seeing you soon, and that's all for me. Talk soon. All right, bye.